So welcome back everyone to another episode of FIFA 17 Everton Career Mode, and this episode is number 14, and today right here we'll be covering our 4 games. The first game we're going to play is Tottenham, and unfortunately we received a injury list from our veteran player Gareth Barry, and right here we did a couple of scouting. Those 3 players are not qualified into our young academy because I believe the potential is not right there yet. Well, for how it works for me is that in order for the youth to join us in the academy, their potential has to be either to 88 to 94. If the potential is 87 or below, I don't seemingly going to sign them because I think we need a much better future, much better squad. So right here we're going to play Tottenham Spurs away from home. Of course, personally it's a huge rival between Arsenal and Tottenham, but we are going to put Arsenal aside and focus on this game. Not many changes in our team, but seems like because Schneiderlin has a broken leg, which De Gea took his place, it seems like he is doing a pretty good job in the middle alongside with Idrissa Gueye. A very good partnership for both of them. Seems like it works pretty well, and Cavani is seems like he's doing great in our squad. But right here, unfortunately, in the first half, in the 21st minute, right here, a free kick, a very lucky goal, I would say. Poor defending by us. I have no idea who scored. That one is Lamela. That was a great cross, by the way. But poor defending by us. Nobody is marking Lamela. Well, even though De Gea looks like he's marking him, but it's not well enough. That's the 4th goal for Lamela. Here is Edison Cavani on the left hand side, right outside the box. Cross one in the middle to Coleman. That's his first goal in the Premier League and second goal in this season. That was a great cross by Edison Cavani, and I have no idea why. Seamus Coleman is right in the middle to support, but it seems like it works out. Look at here once again, a very poor goalkeeping by Lloris. He should have come out a little bit earlier. But anyway, that's the equalizer. And here's Marcus Rashford to Dele Alli. A shot, ground ball, but the ball is just wide for a goal kick. And here's Idrissa again, the right hand side, using his pace right there. Crossover in the middle. Seems like a little bit deflection, but Edison Cavani is right behind all the Tottenham defenders, and we take the lead 2-1 with Idrissa Gueye. He is a beast player. Well, his shooting is right there. His long shot, his accuracy of long shot is pretty good. His pace is also another advantage for him. I would say he is a well-rounded or even a box-to-box player. And here's Edison Cavani, a very great through ball by Idrissa Gueye, but Lloris is doing a great job for keeping that out to prevent the 3rd goal. But anyway, we don't care. We win. We beat Tottenham Spurs 2-1. Edison Cavani, the late winner. Not really the late winner. That was 25 minutes before the full time. And here's the scoreline: 2-1. We win. That was great. And possession-wise, we did not dominate at all. We have more shots. Well, we didn't have a lot of shots, but compared to Tottenham, we should have. It seems like a very tough game for us. So let's move on to another game. For this episode. Right here, we are playing against Sheffield Wednesday away from home, and here's the lineup for Sheffield Wednesday. I have no idea who they are, all the players. Okay, so I'm waiting for my team list. Yes, so right here, we made a lot of we made a lot of changes right here. All the backups and also the reserve player are going to play, especially for Giordano, the young left wing. He is going to play on the left side, starting role. But right here, um, Joe makes a pretty great save. But in the second half, right here, that was another cross in the middle. Joe keep them out to prevent the goal, and here's in the 59 minutes. My defending is pretty poor right here. I have no idea why. Who the hell is that? Well, I think one of the players slipped, and then he let Gary Hooper scores the first goal of the game. And honestly, I don't want to spoil everything else. This game is probably the worst game I ever played in my whole life against a weaker side. Well, arguably you can say that I put a much younger players to face them, but we shouldn't be performing like that. Well, that one is Funes Mori. I'm pretty hacked up right after that goal. So that's the second goal for Gary Hooper, and that's the end of the game. We are knocked out in the quarterfinal or the round of 16. I was pretty disappointed. I was pretty mad, to be honest. I was about to throw my controller away. Well, of course you guys probably don't believe it, but at that time I was pretty mad. Well, look at the match facts. Well, we dominate the possession a little bit, but shots we don't have one. We don't even have single one. You can actually tell they have a pretty they have a pretty good defense. So here is the calendar. We have 3 games to cover up right here, and there's a week for international break against Greece and also Germany. Well, it seems like right after the knocked out, we have to put all strength and focus into the Premier League because Arsenal is chasing up. Only Arsenal and Chelsea are chasing up. They are 5 points or 7 points within the boundary. Well, of course, we're trying to win a lot of games in total. Seems like we drew a lot of necessary games. So here is the starting lineup against Sunderland away from home. Well, of course, we have to put all the best players in the game so that we have a chance to win. Well, unfortunately for the FA Cup, I think I should have put a lot more stronger players in the lineup. I don't then, like in Sunderland, probably some of them wouldn't have a lot of stamina, but it doesn't matter. We have to focus on both FA Cup and also Premier League. But anyway, let's jump back here right here in the 39th minute. Here's a shot, but then Sergio Rico makes a fantastic save to keep that away. And here's Ross Barkley, a very bad mistake by the defender, and he makes it 1-0 for Everton right in the stoppage time of the first half. And Ross Barkley seems like he is on fire for the past few games, scoring around 45 goals. And Jordan Pickford should have. Well, you could never save that. That was pretty close. A close shot, and that's the 6 goals for Ross Barkley. Here's the Hood to Ross Barkley, and he makes it 2-0. I told you he is on fire. A very good build-up play by us in the 50th minute, and tried to compensate the loss against Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, you can't really compensate a lot of things because we are out for the FA Cup. Seems like we have to move on to the next season. Of course, well, after the game that we lost against Sheffield Wednesday, I learned that I learned not to put all the reserve and backup players, which is a huge mistake by us. And here's Kershaw. He has it out wide for a goal kick from a corner. But right here, in the 82nd minute, I told you once again, right after the 18th minutes, we have a huge chance to score. And right here is a penalty. That was an unnecessary dive to Garcia. That number 2, I have no idea what is his name. But Leighton Baines, our set piece master, he is going to take this penalty. That's his fourth, fifth penalty in this season, and he makes it to the 3-0, and we seals the win 3-0. It was, it feels great right after you lost to a very, very undeservable game, but Leighton Baines and Ross Barkley contributes that. Pretty much now we are 3-0 ahead of Sunderland. That's the fifth goal for Leighton Baines. He didn't score. As a defender, he scored a lot. Five. That's his fifth goals, and Ross Barkley just scores his 7 goals in this season. And it doesn't matter because he takes penalty. You can take that credits off. So here's the final scoreline: 3-0. Ross Barkley for 2, Leighton Baines for 1. We did not dominate possession, but we had more shots, and we were 1 offside, 1 corner, and shot accuracy and pass accuracy was there. And here is the final game of this series against Everton. Against Hull City at home. Here's Janelka, our captain. He is 35 years old, and I'm pretty sure he is about to retire soon. So look at that table once again. We are 64 points, 1 game behind Arsenal, who is currently 61 points. Now, hopefully our form would not drop, so that we can maintain it at first. Well, of course, a lot of people say that Arsenal is not going to win it's not going to win the Premier League, but right here they still have a chance. So seems like we made a couple of changes right here. Mohamed Bisek is right there in the middle, alongside with Jisa Gay. Tom Davis also come in for the CAM role for Ross Barkley, who has a tired leg, but last game he had a fantastic game. Here's Tom Davis in the second minute. His shot hits the post, keeps it away from the goal. Edinson Cavani, terrible miss. He should have at least get that one on target. And here's Mason, Mabukani, and Sergio Rico is there to make the save. Here's Garcia, turns and take a shot, but that was right there for the goalkeeper Marshall to make the save. On the right hand side, Markovic's great skill to Hendrickson, and that's the first goal of the game in the 51st minute. And he runs all the way to the manager and of course give him a big hug. Why not? Poor defending by us. Well, earlier I did mention about signing new world class defender. Well, Coleman shouldn't be doing that. He should be heading the ball, marking him pretty tight. But it doesn't matter. That's 1-0 for Hull City. Here's Tom Davis into Edinson Cavani inside the box in the penalty spot, and he makes the equalizer 1-1. Look at that once again. A great skills move by Tom Davis. Pass one in the middle to Edinson Cavani. Marshall couldn't keep that out, and he sliced, and Cavani, pretty great shot, bottom right corner, and that's the 4th goal for him, I believe. And here's Edinson Cavani hitting the post once again. That's the 2nd time in this episode, in this game, but Tom Davis could not convert that rebound. Here's Maloney on the left hand side, cross one in the middle to Hendrickson, but this time he misses out wide for a goal kick. And here's Klukas, take a shot, makes the save by Sergio Rico, but the follow-up shot is pretty ugly, and that's how the game would end 1-1. A pretty bad game for us. Ross Barkley and the Who are not in the lineup today, so there could be a small possibility that we didn't win. Of course, I don't want to take any blame. And here's the scoreline: 1-1. Hendrickson scored in the 52nd minutes, and Edison Cavani scored in 67 minutes. Here's the match facts. We dominated possession 55%, but our shots accuracy is not there today. We have the same shots and same shots on target. But anyway, that's the end of the episode. And like this video, subscribe to my channel for more contents and other gameplays. And stay tuned. I will see you guys in the next one.